Once again, thank you for flying with us today. For those passengers continuing on to Kansas City and Los Angeles, feel free to move about the cabin or visit the terminal. We'll be resuming our flight in approximately 30 minutes.
Hi, my name is John Kurgan.
Hello, Stephen Riddick.
Pleased to meet you. Are you flying on to Los Angeles?
No, I'm getting off in Kansas City.
Business trip?
Actually, I'm just returning from one. I'm on my way home.
My company has a branch office in Kansas City. Nice city from what I've seen of it. Have you lived there long?
A few years. I relocated from the East Coast when my company moved to Kansas City.
What part of the city do you live in?
Johnson County, just south of the city, in Gardner.
I may have the opportunity to move to Kansas City in about a year. What part of the city would you recommend?
Well, it would depend on what your needs are, but if they're similar to mine, I would recommend moving to Gardner. I spent months looking all over the Kansas City area for our new home. My wife was really worried that we would have to settle for living in just another suburb, a community with no personality. I'm so glad we waited to make our selection. I'm glad we took a friend's advice and discovered Gardner. I was really surprised to discover how close Gardner is to where I work. In just 20 minutes, I can be in the heart of corporate woods or anywhere along College Boulevard. Why, in just 30 minutes, I can be in downtown Kansas City. You know, there are many places to live in Johnson County, but none with the personality of Gardner. There are so many little things that make it special. The most important one, I guess, is that Gardner is a small town with lots of advantages. When you drive into town for the first time, you'll immediately notice a refreshing, small town atmosphere. Once I take the Gardner exit off of I-35, it's easy to leave my troubles back in the city. The people of Gardner actually take pride in a slower-paced lifestyle. Pride. That's a good word to describe Gardner. Proud of who they are and of being just a little old-fashioned. You should be in Gardner during the 4th of July. That day definitely means something more than just another day off from work and a backyard barbecue.
Seems to me that I've heard of Johnson County before. Isn't it one of the most expensive areas of Kansas City to live in?
Well, it's not true about Gardner. I couldn't believe the bargain my wife and I found when we started looking for a place to build our house. We would have had to pay much more in other parts of Kansas City. Another surprise for us was the variety of neighborhoods in Gardner. You can find quaint old homes, rich in character, as well as homes for the young new families. There are even many areas in town for those people that require more than just a city lot to build their dream home. Availability of good building sites in Gardner is not a problem.
I'm really concerned with my children's education. My wife and I were forced last year to enroll them in a private school. How are the schools in Gardner?
My family found everything we were looking for in Gardner's public school system. Close to home, modern facilities, excellent teachers, a well-rounded program. And I read our high school seniors' test scores are consistently above state and national averages. I don't think you'll have to worry about needing a private school in Gardner.
You mentioned earlier that Gardner was not just another suburb. What did you mean?
Just like anywhere else, there are communities all over the Kansas City area made up of a shopping mall and subdivisions, but very little else. They don't seem to have any real personality. I don't think many families know what the words hometown really mean. I wasn't born there, but Gardner is my new hometown. It definitely has a personality all its own. Many of the conveniences that people appreciate in larger towns are in Gardner, minus the traffic jams and crowds. Like I said before, It's a community with a little slower pace, perfect for raising a family. Gardner's a community with its priorities in order. Gardner also has two features that cannot be found anywhere else. The city is the home of the county fair, a part of our heritage that's almost died out in this country. For an entire week each August, the county fair attracts visitors from all over the area. And the lakes. I almost forgot to tell you about the lakes. Where else in the Kansas City area can you drive from your home to one of two peaceful lakes in just 5 minutes? Hillsdale Lake to the south and Gardner Lake to the north are the perfect places to relax and unwind. It's really something special.
This sounds just like what I've been looking for. But I'm away on business a lot, and I worry about my family's safety.
You know, my family's safety is something I've probably started taking for granted. I remember all the fears I had where we used to live. Gardner's public safety officers are always visible, and they're there when you need them. People really rely on them for everything.
From what you've told me, it sounds like time has sort of passed Gardner by.
No, not at all. Just the opposite. I was so surprised how progressive the city is. The city council knows that Gardner is going to grow. In fact, Gardner was listed as one of the fastest growing communities in Johnson County. But the council is working hard with the city administrator to make sure that new development is well planned. They're not going to let Gardner lose its personality. Let me show you what I mean. Just a few years ago, this small town built a $12 million energy plant. Now we not only produce our own electricity, but we can actually sell energy to the rest of the Kansas City area. The Greenway Corridor is another example. The city has developed an exciting plan to create a park that is 2 miles long. The city council wants to preserve a streamway in town and restore native grasses and wildflowers. There will also be bicycle and jogging paths, a nature interpretation trail, and playing fields. It's really going to be something. You know, it's interesting. While other communities are having to eliminate city services, Gardner is actually creating new ones.
It sounds like Gardner is really planning for the future. Tell me, do most of the people that live in Gardner commute to work?
People like myself do, but many of my neighbors work right in the Gardner area. We're fortunate to have an industrial park less than 1 mile from Gardner. There must be 30 or 40 businesses there, giving jobs to thousands of people. One of those companies is North Supply. They're part of the United Telecom and sister company of U.S. Sprint. You should see their corporate office. It's the largest office building in the state of Kansas. North Supply is one of the leading suppliers of modern telephone equipment and services in the country. Then there's Kramer Products, a Gardner success story. If you have participated in any type of organized sports, I'm sure you've heard of them. This company was founded in Gardner over 70 years ago. They manufacture hundreds of sports medicine products for the U.S. and many foreign countries. You'll probably find Kramer Products in sports programs ranging from youth leagues to professional teams. So you can see, Gardner's future for jobs and careers is pretty bright.
Flight 212 to Kansas City and Los Angeles, now boarding gate 50.
Oh, I guess that's us.
Stephen, I've really enjoyed talking with you.
Actually, I did most of the talking. I apologize for rambling on.
No, don't apologize. I feel like I've learned something new about Kansas City.
Listen, here's my business card. If you do decide to move to Kansas City, give me a call. I can put you in contact with someone who can help you find a home in Gardner.
Great. Hope to see you again soon.
Hello, I'm Carol Lehman, Mayor of Gardner, Kansas. If you're thinking about relocating to Johnson County, I hope you'll pay us a visit. I think you'll find Gardner a refreshing alternative. Please call our Chamber of Commerce. They'll make you feel at home. Hope to see you soon.